And welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to another weekend preview. We've had the international break now and back to Premier League and Championship action, starting off with the Premier League and Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. This is an interesting one. Tottenham obviously had the dream start under Nuno, winning all three of their games, sitting top of the league. Palace, bit of building time under Patrick Vieira with all new players, and I think they may struggle again here. I think Tottenham will have just enough quality to get the win. I'll say 1-0. Watford take on Wolves at Vicarage Road in a game that I'm really interested in. Watford, they've got off to an okay start to the season, 3 points from 3 games. Wolves haven't got a point yet, so I think Wolves will see this as a real opportunity to finally get some points on the board, and Watford will be desperate to continue picking up the points. I think both teams will see this as a win, but I think they will cancel each other out, and in the end I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Brentford host Brighton at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford and Brighton, I think they'll both be very happy with their start. Brentford unbeaten with 5 points, and Brighton on 6 points, having just lost the one game. So yeah, both teams will be very happy with their starts, and I think both will see this as an opportunity to continue their good start. So definitely expecting a very entertaining game here, which could go either way, and I think in the end it will be a draw. I'm going to say 1-1. Arsenal host Norwich at the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, we know how much of a disastrous start these sides got off to. Both bottom of the league with a goal difference of -9. So yeah, they need improving. And for Mikel Arteta, you kind of do say this is a must-win really. Otherwise, his job really starts coming to fret. Norwich, yeah, it's been a slow start for them, but they obviously have had a really tough start. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But I do think Arsenal will have enough quality to get this win. I'm going to say 2-0. Man United take on Newcastle in what could potentially be the return of Cristiano Ronaldo to Old Trafford. And yeah, I can't wait for this one. United, 7 points. I think they started off fairly well, but I think they do feel like they should be on 9. Newcastle, just a 1 point so far. It hasn't been a great start for them. And yeah, with this being such a big game for United, I think they will struggle to get something out of this. I think in the end it will be comfortable for United. I'm going to say 2-0. Southampton take on West Ham at St Mary's in the Premier League. Southampton 13th in the table with 2 points so far. Not the best start for them, but they have shown flashes of promise. West Ham on 7, and I think like United, they will be disappointed not to make it 9 with that draw to Crystal Palace. But they'll still be pretty encouraged by their start, and I think going to St Mary's and getting a win here will make amends for it. I do think they have the team still. I do think they will be considered slight favourites. So I'm going to say a 1-0 West Ham win. Leicester host Manchester City in a game that I'm really looking forward to at the King Power Stadium. Neither side has got off to the best start, I think you'd say. Man City in 7th, obviously losing that game to Tottenham. But on the whole, it's not been okay. Leicester in 6th. Leicester in 9th with 6 points, won their first 2 out of their 3 games, so they've had an okay start as well, and I think this will really show us where they are. I don't think they're quite there yet, and I can see this City nicking the win, so I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on, Chelsea host Aston Villa in the Premier League. Chelsea, of course, on 7 points. I think they'll be relatively pleased with their start to the season, but do feel like they could have won against Liverpool last time out, and of course Villa in 11th, a bit of a mixed start to the season, but I think with the new players coming in, playing such a key role, I do think it will take a bit of time, especially to get over the loss of Jack Grealish, and I'm expecting it to be tough for them here. I think this should be a win for Chelsea. I'll say a 2-0 win. Moving on, next up, Leeds United host Liverpool in the Premier League at Ellen Road. Leeds, obviously, they haven't got off to the best start to the season. Only got 2 points out of 3. Obviously taking that hammering on the open day, but since then they've been okay. Against the Liverpool side, 5th, 7 points so far. I think they'll be pretty pleased with that, but maybe they should have made it 9 with that Chelsea red card. But on the whole, a solid start to the season. I do think they will have enough to see off Leeds here. I'm going to say a 1-0 win. Moving on then, Everton host Burnley in the Premier League in the Monday night game. And yeah, Everton, once again, I think they'll be pretty pleased with their start to the season. Burnley, less so, still teetering at the bottom of the table. And yes, so this kind of is the perfect opportunity for Rafa Benitez to really get those Everton fans on the side and pick up a solid win here. And I do think that will probably happen. I'm going to say a nice comfortable win for Everton. I'm going to say a 2-0 win. Birmingham take on Derby at St Andrews. Birmingham in 8th place. Once again, moving on to the Championship now, by the way, if you didn't already notice, you probably should have done. Should have pointed that out. But yeah, Birmingham, I think they'll be pretty happy with their start to the season. 8 points from 5 games, obviously hammering Luton. Definitely signs of promise and progress. Derby as well, considering the situation they're in, to be in 15th is pretty solid for them. But I do think Birmingham just have that little bit extra than Derby at the moment. That's why I'll get the win 1-0. But moving on then, Reading host QPR at the Medeski Stadium. QPR, obviously, they've had a great start to the season in 11th place. They'll be very happy with that. Against the Reading side, who, 3 points from 5 games. It's not been the best start for them. And teetering right on the edge of the relegation zone. But however, they have made a few decent signings since their last game. Danny Drinkwater surprised me. That's a decent signing. So I do think they will have enough to get a draw here. I'll say 1-1. Blackburn taking on Luton at Ewood Park. Blackburn in 10th place so far, 8 points from 5 games. I think they'll be pleased with that. Luton 7 points from 5 games. Once again, it's a solid start. Blackburn especially, I wasn't sure on Tony Mowbray, but so far they've had a decent start to the season, and I think they'll see this as a good opportunity to really kickstart it. But Luton, I think they'll see it as an opportunity as well, but I just think home advantage will be enough for Blackburn to pick up a 2-0 win. Next up, West Brom take on Millwall at the Hawthorns. West Brom second in the table, behind Fulham, only on goal difference, against the Millwall side, who I would say I've been quite disappointed with so far this season. I'm really expecting more from them, to be honest. But still early days, still plenty of time to improve. But looking on the two sides so far, I'm expecting West Brom to pick up a pretty comfortable win here. I'm going to say a 2-0 WBA win. Moving on, next up, we've got Bournemouth hosting Barnsley at the Vitality. Bournemouth in 6th place. You kind of feel like this is a must-win game for them. For already 4 points behind the runaway leaders, if they really want to realistically keep up with them this season. Barnsley in 14th, it's still a bit of a transition period between Ishmael and Scott. Kind of too early to judge, but I do think Bournemouth need to win this one, and I think they will. I'll say 1-0. Coventry take on Middlesbrough at the Ricoh Arena, and Coventry, they've got off to a solid start to the season. 9 points from the first 5. I think they'll be very happy with that. Middlesbrough, 6 points from 5. Mid-table, it's an okay start to the season. But I think both sides will be fairly confident in this one. Coventry obviously have had their slightly better start to the season, but I think Middlesbrough, they've got a lot of quality in that side. And I just do think that I have that little bit extra against Coventry, and that will change it for them. I'll say 1-0. Stoke take on Huddersfield at the Bet365 Stadium. These are two teams who have had a very solid start to the season. Huddersfield, 10 points from 5 games. After the tonking they took against Fulham, 5-0, I definitely didn't see this coming. But they've proved me wrong, and they've done an excellent job. Absolutely thrashing Reading last time out. And Stoke in 5th place. They've had a pretty solid start to the season. I just do think they have that little bit extra in the Huddersfield home advantage as well. I'll say 1-0 to Stoke. Sheffield United take on Peterborough at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United, realistically, it may even be too early to say that they're not going to be in the automatic promotion race this season, but they desperately need to up it against Peterborough, who realistically, this is a game that Sheffield United have to be winning, and I do think they will get the win here. Really, and hopefully they've used this 2-week international break to really kickstart their season, and I'm going to say 2-0 Sheffield United victory. Swansea take on Hull City at the Liberty Stadium. Obviously, it's not been a great start for either of these teams. 4 points apiece. Hull, though, solid point last time out against Bournemouth. I think they'll be really relatively happy with that. But Swansea losing to Preston, not a great result for them. And it's obviously taken some time to adjust under Russell Martin. But this is an interesting one. I think both teams will want to go for the win. I just think Swans have an extra bit of quality, so I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then, Fulham, obviously, just dominating everyone in the Championship. They travel to Blackpool, who 2 points from 5 games, haven't had the best start to the season. It's the sort of game in the Championship that Blackpool could easily win, but I don't think that's going to happen at this time around. Fulham, they just look so good at the moment. As it currently stands, if they keep up with this form, they'll have 92 goal difference at the end of the season. It's just ridiculous. Expecting it to be another comfortable win for them. I'm going to say 3-0 to Fulham. Moving on, Bristol City take on Preston at Ashton Gate. Bristol City in 11th place, Preston in 16th place. After kind of shaky starts to the seasons, I feel like it's been an okay start to the season for both these teams, and both these sides will be relatively content, and I think both these sides will see it as a winnable game, really, against each other, just to build on them. So I think they will go out for it, but I do think Bristol, with home advantage, will have the quality. I'll say 1-0. Forest take on Cardiff in the Championship, and this is another really interesting one. Chris Hughton seems to have survived the international break against Cardiff side, who, they've had a pretty decent start to the season, but did falter just before the international break, and so they'll be looking to bounce back from that, and Forest hopefully build on that draw with Derby. It'll be interesting to see which way it goes. I think Forest will just lose out here. I just don't see enough in them at the moment. I'm going to say 1-0 Cardiff, set piece goal as per. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts, comments down below, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe for daily football news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.